Hello, and welcome back to Renaissance Knowing Your True Self. I don't know if you've noticed that the setup is a little bit different. I actually found myself a rim light, so I'm trying different lighting settings, etc. I've always wanted one, and I was going to order it from Amazon, and I just happened to be at the mall with my daughter today, and I found this ring light, and so I'm trying it out. So far I'm good. I'm just going to keep experimenting, so probably you'll see different lightings, etc. in future videos, but it's just something that I just wanted to have some fun with. So today, what do I want to talk about? I mentioned in my social media that I want to talk about a very, very important topic, and that's called accountability. It's very interesting because when I look at the news, example, but just everything that's going on, I find that there is a lack of accountability, specifically in politics. And it's not just politics, it's everywhere, but it's just very obvious when you watch the news. You always have one party blaming the other, and there's no proper taking ownership of what someone's supposed to do. It's always making excuses, blaming somebody else if something goes wrong, but not taking that ownership and accountability and saying, okay, we messed up, so we're going to see what we can do to fix it, or we're going to take steps to fix it. It's sad that literally we are in a blaming society. We are all victims, right? Because when you're putting the onus on someone else, automatically we are victims. And is that the mindset that we should have, that we are victims and there are other people in other circumstances that are just not letting us to do what we're supposed to do, right? If you really think about it. And I was just thinking, like, there's been times where, I found out that I messed up at work. It could have been something that I forgot, or something that I was supposed to do, or maybe something I just blatantly make a mistake. And yeah, because of how we are conditioned and how everything happens, and what we see as examples around us, it's very easy for me to look at what else was causing this problem of mine, so I can put the blame on something else. So I used to do that in the beginning. I would just blame, like, oh, it was this thing, I didn't get this from this person, that person messed up, and etc. But in reality, it was me just afraid to admit my own mistakes. And truth be told, I still struggle with that. And that's where the self-awareness comes in, right? I remember one time I decided to take ownership, and I remember they said, okay, Rena, this thing was missed here. How did that happen? And normally, instead of blaming somebody that I would do, I decided to just kind of take a step back, and I felt bad. And I basically said, that's on me. I messed up, and I will take a look and I will fix it. And I found that as soon as I said that, the tone changed, because what's everyone going to say? They're like, oh, okay, that's fine. That's good. And as opposed to you're trying to blame other people, and then it becomes more drama, more talking, etc. And it's really not serving anybody. So sometimes it's just a matter of just saying, you know what? I could probably do a better job. Let me take ownership of this. Let me be accountable for this. And even if someone messed up, it's still my responsibility. If you look at a leader, right, and I just thought about this, a leader gives everybody else credit. But if there is a problem, something failed, the leader takes responsibility. So when you're putting the blame on other people, that's not a leadership quality. You're now putting yourself, instead of being a leader and taking charge, so it's not just owning your success, it's also owning your failures. So when you are not a leader and you put the blame on someone else, now you're showing that you're a victim, because, oh my God, other people messed up. So, I'm helpless and I can't do anything. So let's think about that. Is that what we want to convey to everybody? Is that what we want to convey to ourselves? Right? I saw a quote that I really liked, and I have to keep reminding myself of that quote. And that quote says, we should never expect the best from everybody else, but we have to expect the best from ourselves. Expectation is a one-way street, basically. I have no control on what somebody else does, but I have full control on what I do. And that's how what I do, I take ownership, I take responsibility, I'm accountable. Once you're accountable, it changes the game. It puts the onus on yourself. You feel more in control, you feel in charge, and you actually feel empowered. I found that because when you make mistakes and you admit you make mistakes, you actually learn from it. you really don't learn a lot from success. We learn a lot from failures. So admitting to that is also admitting the fact that there's something to learn from, and then learning and actually empowering yourself even further, right? It's very uncomfortable. And but unfortunately, it's something that I realize is that I have to learn to be more accountable. Looking, like I said in the beginning, looking around at politics is not the best example. Like, it's literally sickening to see how people just want to blame the other party. I don't care, because to me it's like each party, they own their own mistakes, they have their responsibilities, they have good, they have bad, but it's the fact of take ownership. There's something you've said you're going to do, maybe you messed up, own it and say, okay, well, let's go ahead and let's see what we can do. Let's remedy this. Let's fix this. What can we learn about from this, right? But no, it's more of that person did this, the other party did that, the opposite party, and it's like, oh my God, people, really, that's such a very sad display of victimhood. And so I've talked about politics, I talked about work, even life, right? There's so many things I've done in my life that I messed up, and I still continue to mess up. But at the end of the day, I can't put that blame on somebody else. It would be so nice to do that, to let someone else do it. But hey, do I want to give that power to somebody else? Or do I want to take that power and own it and exercise it, right? If I put that power in someone else, I have no control. What would we rather do? Have someone else control what happens to us, or can we control what happens to us, right? At least to whatever extent that we can. So I just felt like it was something I wanted to talk, because I've just been seeing all these examples. I've been seeing it in work. I've been seeing it in my life. I see it a lot in myself, and it's definitely one thing to be very, very self-aware about that. So that's all I have to say for today, is just accountability. What can you be accountable for in your work life, in your home life, in your relationships, everything? What can you be accountable for, and what can you take charge? And it is not a sign of weakness to admit mistakes. It's not a sign of weakness to admit your weaknesses, etc. Nothing. No one's perfect, right? If we're all perfect, I don't know what our world would look like, but we're not. We mess up. Things go wrong. We're all doing the best that we can. So the only thing I would say is take accountability and take charge, and move from victimhood to being a leader. All right, that's all I got to say, and I'll let you go, and we will talk next week. It's probably a different setting for this room life. We'll see. I'm having fun with it. Bye.